What up, people? Welcome to another edition of the Salty Thoughts Mike Steph podcast, featuring the one and only Mike Steph, best in the world at what he does. Yeah, man. I am back this week to give y'all what I promised. What I promised the masses, but not only what I promised the masses, what I promised one particular individual by the name of Smitty from the group home in Bergen Beach. I said last week that I would actually devote an episode on the opening weekend of the MLB Major League Baseball season and, of course, my New York Metropolitans. Yes, this week, the Mets started off the season and started off their opening weekend winning 2 out of 3 games against the Pittsburgh Pirates in a season that I don't know why they start opening day like this. Like for the Mets, we started our opening day with Thursday, right? Then you have Friday off. Then you had an afternoon game, a late afternoon game on Saturday, and a regular afternoon game on Sunday. So the one good thing, at least at the very beginning, you have all afternoon games, but are they gonna have afternoon games at home the week that the kiddies are off for spring break, for Easter break? I don't know. I haven't looked that far into the schedule. But anyway, why do they have that though? Why do they have that little break? I know it's been going on for the last couple years. I mean, it was even crazier this year because you had the Yankees and the Giants officially kick off the regular season with a standalone game on Netflix. And then you had the rest of the also rans. I guess that's how they felt about us. Kick off our seasons Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening, and etc. And then a lot of people had, some people had Thursday off and they started Friday. Why can't it just be like it used to be? First pitch at numerous destinations, at numerous cities, and numerous stadiums. The first game of the season, play ball, and that's how it was. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and buy me. Yeah, that's the remix. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never get back. So root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. And it's 1, 2, 3 strikes you're out at the old ball game. Thank you. So I'm not going to be here for a long time because I actually have a surprise for y'all, but I'm not going to open up the box. I'm not going to open up the present until the end of the episode. So I'm going to get this show right on the right because all I'm talking about, you know what? I might talk about the Knicks because the Knicks at this recording have really pissed me off, but I'm trying to ignore it because the Knicks are going to be the Knicks. We got 8 games left in the regular season. And at this point in time, it makes no sense to get upset about this. Things are going to be what they're going to be. And the middle of April, when the playoffs start, that's when to start living and dying with this team. But with all that being said, we must start this episode like none other. And that, of course, would be with my lovely Cryon Smitty's Corner. Yes, Smitty's Corner, sponsored by Smitty from the group home in Bergen Beach. And this week's, this is the first edition of Smitty's Corner for season 4 of the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast. But Smitty's Corner is sponsored by Smitty from the group home in Bergen Beach, who is not actually in Bergen Beach right now. I don't know. He's somewhere. I know he's not at work. I know that's one thing he wasn't at. Don't get me wrong. Listen, Smitty is not like Tommy from the Martin Show. He does have a job. Yes, he still lives in a group home, but he does have a job. And dare I say, he works hard. He's one of the hardest men in my um chosen field of profession or professional field or whatever you want to call that. Yes, he works harder than me. Is he the hardest? It's matter of fact, he works harder than me when it comes to that job. Is he the hardest man in showbiz today? I don't know because I'm not in showbiz and he's not in showbiz. But I'm going to tell y'all, just like I told my wife yesterday, because for some reason I have static on me. So when I keep on shocking her and my lips are just so when I kissed her, it got shot. She's like, "Oh, that hurt." I said, "Guess what?" She's like, "Why?" I was like, "Because I'm the most electrifying man in marriage today." We're going to start with game one. Yes, game one was a 11-7 victory over the Pittsburgh Pirates. Do you know that 16 of the players that were on the field for the New York Mets at the end of last year's disappointing, dare I say, horrific season that ended in the swampy weather of Miami? There's only like a handful of players that are left from that team, left from 2025's iteration of the New York Metropolitans. Francisco Lindor, Juan Soto, and Francisco Alvarez. Those are the only three players that were penciled in for this team's opening day lineup 2026. The other 13, well, we either got rid of them, we benched them, we threw them down to the minors, or they left in free agency and we said good riddance. Now, one of those new players is well thought of and highly thought of prospect who made the major league roster, Carson Benge. In his MLB debut, he hit his first home run as a New York Met. Saturday's hero, who we'll get to in a very few minutes, Luis Robert Jr., had 2 hits and a crucial first inning walk. And Bo Bichette, the $42 million man who we will talk about later on also, had a key first inning sacrifice fly and multiple, according to this article, multiple uber competitive at-bats. You know what an uber competitive at-bat means? It means that you didn't get the job done, but you made the pitcher work for it. And tell you the truth, after this first opening weekend, I think the jig is up. We don't want to see no uber competitive at bats. We want to see knocks. We want to see hits. We want to see hits. We want to see walks. We want to see hits. You get the picture. Starting pitcher, Freddie Peralta, who was an addition to our team via trade this past January, was solid, if not unspectacular. Yeah, that's more like it. In his first outing as a Met, he gave us 7 earned runs. Didn't he? I know his ERA was 7. The first inning was pretty impressive. Not gonna lie. Met skipper Carlos Mendoza said after the game, controlling the strike zone, creating traffic. We're putting the ball in play with 2 strikes. We're going the other way when we need to. That's a sign of a good, dare I say great, I added the great part, offensive team. This was game 1 when we scored 11 runs. We scored 7 runs the combined next two games. But I digress. Matter of fact, why do I got this dude on here? Why not talk about him? Yeah, he's better. President of Baseball Operations, David Stearns, embarked on a dramatic offseason overhaul. He set out to reinvent not only the team, but the narrative surrounding this team. Stearns was aggressive, emotionless, calculating, and eager and willing to part with established fan favorites in order to construct a better and more dynamic roster. Gone was Pete Alonso. Gone was the squirrel, Jeff McNeil. Gone was Edwin Diaz, who's talking about, yeah, maybe he'll be back. Guess what? Maybe we won't want you back. How about that? Hope you get a ring in L.A. I hope you get a ring in L.A. If you don't get a ring in L.A., but the day's most memorable swing came in the sixth, courtesy of Carson Benge. New York's much hyped rookie, the 23-year-old, made the club's opening day roster out of spring training despite having zero big league experience. Because the powers that be had faith that he could handle the bright lights, the big city of New York. In his fourth at bat, Benge connected crisply with the poorly located sweeper, sending it flying over the wall in right. The club's top hitting prospect literally jumped for joy as he rounded first base before zipping around the bases like a bat out of hell. Paul Skenes, last year's Cy Young winner, lasted just 2/3 of an inning against the New York Mets on opening day. He threw 37 pitches and allowed 5 runs in the outing. The Mets, that's right, the Amazings, had a 5-2 lead already, 2/3 of an inning in the first inning when he left the game. Now, the thing about this is that was just the first game of the season. We had dramatics, the fabulous dramatics. You know, every single day and every single going, everything I'm gonna get my flow, even in the coolio. Some of these hoes are so defective, losing my style like a contraceptive. But however that goes. Nick, Knack, Patty Whack. Louis Robert Jr. hit a 3-1 home run in the bottom of the 11th inning to give the New York Mets a 4-2 victory over the same Pirates this past Saturday. Luis Torrens, backup catcher, delivered a tying signal in the 10th inning on his first swing of the season, and the Mets improved to 2-0 after their opening day victory. After starters Mitch Keller, and David Peterson, Matt Zeros, this is courtesy of SNY, Matt Zeros in 42-degree weather, Nick Gonzalez lined an RBI single for Pittsburgh with 1 out in the 10th to break a scoreless tie. Mets reliever Luis Garcia prevented further damage by retiring Jake Magnum. Jake Magnum? Jake Magnum? Jake Magnum. With the bases loaded, Brian Reynolds put the Pirates ahead again with a 2-out infield single in the 11th before Richard Lovelady struck out Gonzalez with runners on the corners. With the automatic runner, Bo Bichette, also aboard at second, Robert reached down and drove a 1-0 slider over the left center fence for his first home run as a Met and the second walk-off shot of his career. The center fielder from Cuba, acquired from the Chicago White Sox in a January trade, also had 2 RBI singles in his debut in the opening game. Following the Mets makeover, the 30-year-old Peterson became the team's longest tenured player, Peterson, who has a pristine ERA after his first start of 0.00, had a great start last year. First-time All-Star before fading in the second half, and he only allowed 6 knocks and 2 walks in 5 1/3 innings. Now, unfortunately, that 2-game winning streak came to a rapid halt. This past week, this past Sunday, when the Mets fell to the Pirates 4-3 in 10 innings on Sunday afternoon. With the game still tied in the ninth, Luke Weaver worked around a pair of walks to keep things knotted at 2. After the Mets couldn't score in the bottom half, Richard Lovelady came back on in the 10th inning, and Ryan O'Hearn greeted him with an RBI single to score the free runner. Lovelady, pitching on back-to-back days, allowed another RBI hit to Henry Davis, giving the Pirates a 4-2 lead. In the bottom of the 10th, after Lindor walk, Juan Soto crushed a double to left center, and while free runner Francisco Alvarez scored easily, Francisco Lindor was out by a long way at the plate for the first out of the inning, and what the hell was third base coach Tim Leiper doing? Later, with 2 outs and a runner on third, Jorge Polanco hit one to the wall and right, but it was just off the end of the back enough for it to be caught for the final out of the game. Now, when it comes to pitching, Nolan McLean allowed an RBI single to O'Hearn, then gave up a solo shot to Brandon Lowe in the top of the 3rd inning. The first homer he's ever allowed to a left-hander while he's been called up to the big leagues. McLean settled in during the middle innings, striking out 4 combined hitters in the 4th and 5th frames, and his afternoon ended there. McLean only went 5 innings, allowing 2 earned runs on 4 hits, 8 strikeouts and a walk. But he did throw 84 pitches. 52 of them were strikes. Now, last but not least, Bo Bichette. No, I don't got his picture. You know who Bo Bichette is. Bo Bichette, $42 million man. Well, he's hearing the boo birds already. Oh, yeah. He's hearing the boo birds already. But to his credit, he knows he deserves it. Bichette has started his career as a Metropolitan, 1 for 14 at the plate, and he has shown some struggles throwing the ball as he takes over a new position at the hot corner, third base. On a contract paying him $42 million per year, Bichette knows the expectations are high. Now, there's 2 trains of thought. Number 1, my man, you in Nueva York. Why am I talking like that? I don't know. But my friend, amigo, escúchame. Listen. Some people are allowed to have slow starts. You and my friend probably would not be one of them. Listen, Francisco Lindor, he had a slow start. Matter of fact, he had a slow first season. We were about to run him out of here. But shoot, he was up to consideration as captain until Uncle Steve put a kibosh on that. Juan Soto last year, Mr. $750 million man. Going to be a Billy by the time he finished with us. Listen, he had a slow start last year. Had him wishing he was back in the Bronx. It happens to the best of them. And you, my friend, I don't believe you're the best of them. You may be a good player. You may be somewhat a great player. But 1 for 14, after giving you the $42 million that from through the grapevine, you tricked Philly and Philly thought you were signed, sealed, delivered, and yours, or should I say theirs, and then you became ours. guess what? You got to handle your business. Got to handle your business. If you don't handle your business, it's going to be a problem. It's almost a problem like this merch that I have on. Do you know this sweater? Yes, I'm totally off the subject. My Mets recap is over. Should I just say escúchame? Should I just say yeah, that was Smitty's corner. But like I was saying, this merch that I have on is about 10 years old. 10 years old. That's why it's falling on me, because I was about 30 pounds heavier 10 years ago. Matter of fact, I probably was about 35 pounds heavier 10 years ago. I was 30 pounds heavier about 3 years ago. But that's not the point I'm trying to get. That's not the point I'm trying to get. Listen to me. Óyeme, chico. Óyeme. Listen. The 7 line, you know, those band of crazies that are out in the bleachers for half the season. This is 7 line merch. And this is not to disparage anybody from the 7 line, because I support the movement. What I do not support is the product that y'all put out right now. Not this. This is the original. This is the M sweater. You know, I have an M sweater. I have an M t-shirt. I have 2 M jackets. I have an M hat. The quality that y'all had back in the days, mwah, I walk down the streets of Harlem, even though I'm a Brooklynite, and people are like, oh, 7 line. What? 7 line. What? 7 line. Oh, you talk about the jacket. Yes. The stuff that y'all have right now, I have no idea. No idea. Look at this. Look at this product. Retro Mets hat. Who wants to wear that? I love New York. Okay. Stay true to the orange and blue. All right. Some of these t-shirts coming soon. Okay. The Amazing Coaster, I can see that one. Right? But who wants an Apple tank top? I'm sorry, I don't want no Apple tank top. Queens is the now. Okay, all right. You know, starting to get into the oldies. All right, you got Juan, going Juan, reroll deep. Okay. Some of those are okay. But what happened? What happened to the? We're gonna go to the Caps. Yeah. I know this is gonna be a favorite for Smitty. I know Smitty wants that Queens Connect right there. This one right here. That's Smitty's name all the way. I'm sorry, I don't like the City Connect ones. Look at this nasty green. 5 panel. Ew. We quit dead. Look at this tweed denim. Ew. Like what's going on here? Now this is nice. What else they got? Another. Disgusting. As my nephew would say, disgusting. This is disgusting. Now let's look at the outerwear. This is the part. See, I like hoodies. As you can see, I like hats and I like jackets. The hoodie, okay, I can see that hoodie. Like I said, it's not bad. The Amazing Mets, this one right here, kitties, I'm feeling that. Look like they upgraded since the last time I've been on this site. I'm not wearing no Apple shorts. This split, to me, that split right here, this one right here, that's so much as bad as people who wear half Met, half Yankee merchandise. No, certain things just, you know what that gives me? That gives me, you ran out of ideas. And I'm going to just try to milk you for all the bread you got. Okay, let's look at more. Okay, these are more old school. So I actually don't mind that. See, I'm a minimalist. I like I don't like all this. All this, that's nasty. This, not doing that. Double-sided. I'm sorry. All right, are these boxes I'm about to see? These boxes I'm about to see? No, but this is nasty. This is nasty. I'm sorry. What happened to the jackets? What happened to the classics? I don't know what happened, Met. I don't know what happened. What happened with y'all, man? Like I said, this is classic. I'm not knocking anybody for getting their bread, getting their money, getting their merch on, because guess what? I haven't sold merch. If this is season 4 seasons. I haven't sold merch since I rechristened myself, reincarnated myself, rebranded myself under me, Mike Steph. Ain't that a bottle? You know what? I haven't served merch under my name, but I used to sell merch under a different moniker. That don't make no sense. Doesn't make any sense anyway. Anyway, you know what? Let's go to an outro. Well, people, that brings us to the end of a very bugged out edition of the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast. I'd like to thank each and every one of y'all for making me in this here podcast the one y'all choose to view and the one y'all choose to listen to. Yes, that was Smitty's Corner. Yes, presented by Smitty from the group home in Bergen Beach. I would say next week, but guess what? Not going to be next week. I'm hitting y'all not with 1, but 2 episodes this week. 2, because I want to stay true to what my vision is for this season, and that is to not have a potpourri of BS. Well, a potpourri of topics all in one episode. So I figured I would give y'all my Mets take here. I already gave y'all my Knicks take. I'm not getting into that anymore. And I will actually give y'all an episode later on this week. You know what? I'm dropping it on Tuesday, tomorrow. So I'm going to give y'all 1 day to let this app breathe. And then I'm going to come back with an episode that it's not going to be about sports. I'm letting you know that right now. It's not really. It got some wrestling in it, but not the wrestling you talking about. Not the wrestling you think. It actually has a wrestler formerly of the WWE that I'm going to take the task, make fun of, crack jokes at the expense of. I don't know, but they do have serious topics that I am going to totally no sell and crack jokes on, because I just don't feel like being that deep. One topic will be Bob Barker. Yeah, Bob Barker. Yes, I know. Normally, I don't really. Okay, Bob Barker passed away, what, last year? Year before last? I know he was 99 when he passed away. So this came to light years ago, but it's been broached upon that he has this series talking about the dark side of game shows and reality shows and so forth. And The Price is Right, yes, had a dark side, had a very dark side, even though this man right here did not like anything darker than that. What the hell? What the hell? Yo, the craziest thing just happened. I was talking so loud that I guess my voice control did something in the background, and Google or Alexa or somebody was answering what I was talking about. But regardless, so I kept on hearing his voice. I'm like, why does that sound like something else is on? And yeah, whatever. But yeah, The Price is Right. Bob Barker, bigot. Bob Barker, racist. Bob Barker, sexual harasser. Bart Barker, SVU contestant, Bart Barker, all the above. Yeah, so I got some info on that. I got some info on a particular former WWE star, and I use that word star loosely, that's been harassing someone personally because they browse their OnlyFans, and I guess because they didn't actually partake and go through with it, they've been stalking my man. Yes, OnlyFans have been stalking someone who will remain unnamed to protect the innocent. And yes, SB, I actually will keep them anonymous. But yeah, and it's something else. It's something else that I'm going to be talking about. I can't remember what. I'm going to look down in my trusty old notes. Ah, pancakes. Yes, pancakes are going to be on the menu. Pancakes are going to be on the docket, and not the way you think they are. Because I believe, my friend, which is so ironic that I'm going to be talking about Bob Barker's bigotry, and I'm going to be talking about pancakes in the same episode. And I'm going to leave it to you. I'm going to leave it to you. That's right, the masses. Am I a pancake sellout? Only one way to find out, and that is to tune in tomorrow. Regularly scheduled time? No, not really. Regularly scheduled channel? Yeah. Regularly scheduled host? Yeah, you're damn right. Please check out the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast, part 2 for this week of March 29th, 2026. Until tomorrow, I bid you adieu. Goodbye. I said